Yeah.
Okay. দয়াল নিতাই চৈতন্য বলে নাচে আর মার মান, দয়াল নিতাই চৈতন্য বলে নাচ রে আর মার মান, 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 হরি নাচ রে আর মার মান, দয়াল নিতাই চৈতন্য বলে নাচ রে আর মার মান। मार के प्रेम दे दयाल तो नहीं है, मार के प्रेम दे दयाल तो नहीं है, अपराध दूरे जाबे पाबे प्रेम धन, ओरे अपराध दूरे जाबे पाबे प्रेम धन, विचार तो नहीं है ओ नामे अपराध, विचार तो नहीं है। कृष्ण नाम रुचि habe गुचिबे बंधन, ताको कृष्ण नाम रुचि habe गुचिबे बंधन, अनुराग तो habe है कृष्ण नामे, अनुराग तो habe है अनिया से सफल habe जीवेरा जीवन, ताको अनिया से सफल habe जीवेरा जीवन, जीवन तो मिछे है कृष्ण आरती बिना, जीवन तो मिछे है। वृंदावन राधा श्यामे पावे दर्शन, ऐसे वृंदावन राधा श्यामे पावे दर्शन, गौरा कृपा हाले है, गौरा कृपा हाले है, दया निताय चैतन्य बोले नाच रे यार मान मान, दया निताय चैतन्य बोले नाच रे यार मान मान, नाच रे यार मान मान, हरि नाच रे यार मान मान, नाच रे यार मान मान, हरि नाच रे यार मान मान, दया निताय चैतन्य बोले नाच रे यार मान मान। Translation. Chanting the holy name, Dayal Nitai Chaitanya. O my mind, please dance. O my mind, please dance. O my mind, please dance. Oh, such a merciful personality as Nityananda Prabhu is not to be found anywhere. He suffers a beating from Jagai and Madai and still gives them the love of God. Oh, when your offenses are being vanquished, you will obtain the treasure of love of God. But in these names of Chaitanya and Nitai, there is no consideration of offenses. Once you have a taste for the holy name of Krishna, bondage to this world will come to an end. Oh, when there is attachment to the holy name of Krishna, the life of a living being very easily becomes successful. Oh, without affection for Krishna, life is simply useless. At the end of life, you will obtain the beautiful vision of Radha and Shyam in Vrindavan, but only when the mercy of Lord Gora is first received. So, this song is written by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying that chanting the names of Nitai and Gora, oh my mind, dance. Because Nityananda Prabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are very merciful, especially Nityananda Prabhu. Mar Khe Prem De. Even those who beat him, he gives them love of God, like Jagai and Madai. And while there are offenses while we chant the Hare Krishna mantra, there are no offenses considered when we chant the name of Nityananda Prabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur. So when our offenses are vanquished, then Krishna Prem will begin to emerge in our hearts. And once we get the taste for chanting the holy name, then we can become liberated. There would be no longer any bondage and being stuck in the cycle of birth and death. And if we have attachment to the holy name, then our life is successful. Otherwise, life is useless without any love for Krishna. And if we chant nicely, and if Nityananda Prabhu is pleased with us, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is pleased with us, we'll get the beautiful vision of Radha and Shyam. and their wonderful pastimes in Vrindavan. So we need to get the mercy. Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so anything else? I think there's a lot of things in the chat that Amit Prabhu pasted. You would like to share anything from that? How to memorize verses? There is a guide he has given so kindly how we can memorize verses. And let's read the verses. So, yeah, a lot of echo. Okay, I'll read some verses. O Lord Indra, O Lord, Indra became angry when his sacrifice was stopped, and he sent terrible clouds that sent down torrents of rain and produced great floods. You became angry to see the Gopas troubled by the storm, and you lifted the great hill Govardhan with your left lotus like hand, thus protecting Raj. O lotus eyed Lord, please protect me in the same way. So we should always seek the Lord's protection because in material world there is danger at every step, and so we should always be asking the Lord for protection. Okay. Of course, Prabhupada said that the Akama devotee just wants to serve the Lord. And then whatever the Lord wants to do, it's up to him. But in Vraj, they are all pure devotees. They are all pure devotees of Krishna. And whenever there is danger, also Prabhupada said the natural inclination of a child is to take shelter. Whenever you trouble a child, they'll run to their father or mother. They'll just take shelter in their father and mother. So where the devotees will go, they will take shelter in Krishna because it's natural. Just like a child takes shelter of the parents, it's natural for the devotee to take shelter. Okay, so that way also. As the rising sun immediately dissipates all the world's darkness, which is deep like an ocean, so the holy name of the Lord, if chanted once without offenses, can dissipate the reactions of a living being's sinful life. All glories to that holy name of the Lord, which is auspicious for the entire world. So one name of Krishna can destroy more sinful reactions then we can more sins than we can commit, reactions to those sins that we have already committed, and it also removes the inclination for committing sins. So this is, as here it is mentioned in the song, that without attachment to the holy name of Krishna, you cannot make any advancement in this age. It's very difficult. Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam eva kevalam. If you don't chant the holy name, then it's very difficult to make spiritual advancement, especially in this age. So chanting should be given the first priority. So, and to remain inspired to chant, you have to hear every day. Hearing and chanting go complement each other. So if you hear nicely, then your inspiration to chant will also remain strong. Like we say, when Sambandha Gyan, you have a deep realization of the Sambandha Gyan, who you are and why you are here, what is the purpose of life, what is your relationship with God. Sambandha. Sambandha means relationship. So if your knowledge of relationship with God is very strong, then you will not just have that knowledge, but you will also act on that knowledge. And that's where Abhideya comes. So if our practices are not strong or not proper, then we have to, that's because we have not understood who we are and our relationship with Krishna. Because Krishna says, one who understands my position as God, aham sarvasya prabhavo mata sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante ma buddha bhava samanvita. Those who have realized, now there are different levels of realization, but those who have realized deeply, then they will engage in my service with all their hearts. Means, yeah, they are always thinking of Krishna, they are always thinking how I can serve Krishna, what can I do to spread the glories of Krishna. So that's the. So when, like we say, right, Ados, Ado Shatta, Tato Sadhu Sangha, Tato Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti. So if whatever is not happening, you go back to the previous step. So if Bhajana Kriya is not strong, then we need more Sadhu Sangha. Like yesterday, Radheshyam Prabhu came. So we have to come in association of the sadhus. And also reading Prabhupada's books is also sadhu sangha. Because we are associating with Prabhupada. Hearing Srila Prabhupada like that and so many devotees. So when the sadhu sangha is strong, then the bhajana kriya will be strong. Means our desires will be strong to do bhajana kriya. And if bhajana kriya is good, then anartha nivritti will start happening. If we are doing bhajana kriya in proper consciousness. So if anartha nivritti is not happening, then that means we have to do more devotional service. Not just in quantity, but also in quality. Prabhupada says in the verse, Ayur harati vaipumsam udyashtachana dasho tasyarthi yachano nita uttam shloka vartaya. In that verse, Prabhupada writes that time and tide wait for no man. And our time is very coming to a close in this material world very soon. So we should accelerate our devotional service. We should accelerate our devotional service. Accelerate means, what does it mean? To increase?
Quantity and quality.
To increase the quantity, not only the quantity, but also the quality. And not only the quality, but also the quantity. So, to increase the quantity and quality of our bhakti. Means remember and assume we may not be able to do so much physical service because we are, like body may not support to do 24 hours like that. But yeah, whatever we can do, we do. And also with our mind, body, mind and words, we have to engage in bhakti. So we have to try to increase our quality of chanting, try to do it properly, nicely, and increase the quantity also. So like that. And that desire to increase is called greed. I should do more. I should do more. Not that I've done enough. No, I should do more. That's the greed. And that greed comes from, love of the Supreme Lord. If you love somebody in this world, then you want to do more and more for that person. So, like Prabhupada, the disciples of Prabhupada had love for Srila Prabhupada, so they were wanting to do more and more. They wanted to please Srila Prabhupada more and more. So, love for the spiritual master, love for the devotees results in Vaishnav Seva. Like that, and also love for the Supreme Lord. Of course, the Vaishnavas engage the devotees in Krishna's service. So that way, our intensity of our desire to serve Krishna, to be with Krishna, everything is based on desire. Right? We say everything is based on desire. And desires come by association. So, if we keep association with those who have strong desires and who are pure in heart, then by their association, then our desires will also become stronger. Because you feel like, I want to become like them. How they are relishing bhakti, I also want to relish bhakti like this. How they have become so free from all material desires, I also want to become like them. Because as Prabhu was also saying, that what is there? Why? What are we going to do achieve here in this material world? There is nothing to gain really. We have to do our duties. That is there. We have our family and we have to do our duties. But in a 50, 60, 100 years, everything will go into oblivion. Oblivion means it's all with time, everything is. So, what are we doing here? What are we going to achieve in this world? Nothing we can achieve which we can take with us, materially speaking. So, the only reason we are here is so that we can change our chain, right? From silver chain to golden chain. Yesterday, bro was. You want to be tied?
No.
Yeah. He's saying that old man was saying, "Do you want to be tied by golden chain?" The old man said, "Yes, that is good. I want golden chain." And his wife was saying, "What are you saying?" So, so anyway, that's how. Of course, we all like to have a nice material situation, but we should not forget the goal of life. And in the pursuit of the nice material situation, because life will end any moment. Then what will you do? All the nice material situation will collapse any moment. It's like a pack of cards, you can say, very fragile. It can, like any moment, it can collapse. So don't invest all your energy. We have to work and we have to do, and according to our karma and our things, we'll get. Even if you get a lot of money and a lot of fame and name, how is that going to help you from getting out of the cycle of birth and death? Because only bhakti can help, right? There is no. The reason we are in the prison of this material existence is because we have turned away from Krishna. So, but if you have a lot of money, then we should use, like today, Bhakti Vikas Maharaj sent something. Let me read. And let me read this. Extra money should be spent for Krishna. This is Canto 7, Chapter 14, verse 8. Of course, we all have money. One may claim proprietorship to as much wealth as required to maintain body and soul together. So you can take as much as is needed for your sustenance. But one who desires proprietorship over more than that must be considered a thief, and he deserves to be punished by the laws of nature. By God's favor, we sometimes get large quantities of food grains or suddenly receive some contribution or an unexpected profit in business. In this way, we may get more money than needed. So, how should that be spent? There is no need to accumulate money in bank merely to increase one's bank balance. Such a mentality is described in Bhagavad Gita as asuric, demoniac. Idam madhya maya labdham imam prapshe manoratham idam astidam api me bhavishyati punardhanam. The demoniac person thinks, so much wealth do I have today, and I will gain more according to my schemes. So much is mine now, and it will increase in the future more and more. Of course, in family, you will need like uh, savings and your children and things. The Asura is concerned with how much wealth he has in the bank today and how it will increase tomorrow. But the unrestricted accumulation of wealth is not permitted by the Shastra or in the modern age by the government. Actually, if one has more than one requires for his necessities, the extra money should be spent for Krishna. According to Vedic civilization, it should be all given to the Krishna consciousness movement as ordered by the Lord Himself in Bhagavad Gita. Yat karoshi yad ashnasi yat juhosi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurusho madarpanam. O son of Kunti, all that you do, all that you eat, all that you offer and give away, as well as austerities that you perform, should be done as an offering to me. Grihasthas should spend extra money only for the Krishna consciousness movement. The Grihasthas should give contributions for the constructing temples of the Supreme Lord. Let's say we have a temple coming up. The Grihasthas should give contributions for constructing temples of the Supreme Lord and for preaching of Srimad Bhagavad Gita or Krishna consciousness all over the world. Like you all sponsored Bhagavad Gita and Srinvan Bhagavato Bhikshnam Avatara Kathamritam. In the Shastras, the Puranas or Vedic literatures, there are so many narrations describing the transcendental activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and everyone should hear them again and again. Prabhupada is saying we should hear the pastimes of Krishna from the Vedic literatures again and again, and everyone should hear them again and again. For example, even if we read the entire Bhagavad Gita every day, entire Bhagavad Gita, if you read every day, all 18 chapters, in each reading we shall find a new explanation. That is the nature of transcendental literature. The Krishna consciousness movement therefore affords one an opportunity to spend his extra earnings for the benefit of all human society by expanding Krishna consciousness. So, in India especially, we see hundreds and thousands of temples that were constructed by the wealthy men of society who did not want to be called thieves and be punished. This verse is very important. As stated here, one who accumulates more money than needed is a thief, and by the laws of nature he'll be punished. One who acquires more money than necessary becomes desirous of enjoying material comforts more and more. Materialists are inventing so many artificial necessities, and those who have money, being allured by such artificial necessities, try to accumulate money and to possess more and more. This is the idea of modern economic development. Everyone is engaged in earning money, and the money is kept in the bank, which then offers money to the public. In the cycle of activities, everyone is engaged in getting more and more money, and therefore the ideal goal of human life is being lost. Concisely, it may be said that everyone is a thief and liable to be punished. Punishment by the laws of nature takes place in the cycle of birth and death. No one dies fully satisfied by the fulfillment of material desires, for that is not possible. Prabhupada says, nobody says, okay, all my desires are fulfilled, now I will die. Of course, nobody wants to die, first of all, and material desires keep coming. Sometimes people say like that, I'm now ready to go, I've done everything. Therefore, but if you don't have devotion to Krishna, you may think you have done all your duties very successfully in this world. But if you don't have devotion to Krishna, then you are coming back again in the cycle of birth and death. Yavanna pritir mai vasudeve tavat deha yogena tavat muchyate deha yogena something like that, deha yogena, right? Unless one has affection for me, then one is not free from the contact of having deha yogena means again you contact a material body. Who says? Rishabdev says, right? Then pritirna mai
Correct.
vasu.
Pritina yavan mai na muchyate deha yogena.
Na muchyate deha yogena tavat. Na muchyate means there is no depression. So even you think like I have done my duties, I have gotten my children, now they are in very nice material situation, they are very happy, and they are all married and they have their children, it's very nice situation. But if you don't have bhakti to Krishna, of course we may say we want both. Yes, that can happen also if you make your children devotees. But no muchyate. Otherwise you are not liberated from the cycle of birth and death. And without doing Vaishnav Seva also you can't get out of this. Vaishnav Seva nistar paye chekeba. So doing without Vaishnav Seva, without serving the devotees, you cannot get out of this cycle of birth and death. And services of two types, Vapu and Vani. So without following the instructions of the devotees, you can't get out of this cycle of birth and death. And without serving, Vapu is not so important like Vani. So by the laws of nature, one is then offered another body to fulfill his unsatisfied desires. And upon taking birth again, accepting another material body, one voluntarily accepts the threefold miseries. So as soon as you get this body, you voluntarily accept the threefold miseries of life. Means you can't have happiness without misery in this world. As soon as you want happiness, you have to also get the opposite. So you have to get adhyatmik, adi bhautik, adi devik miseries also. As soon as you try to fulfill your unfulfilled material desires, the body will give so much trouble. It is a source of various diseases. Everything in the Bhagavatam, whatever they are saying is true. Every word, whatever is mentioned in the scripture is true. We should have faith that. Whatever my mind is saying is not true. But whatever Shastra is saying is true. whatever Srila Prabhupada is saying is all true. And we can see that. It's not like it's blind following. You can see that in in our personal life and in people around us. So, so like that. Uh,
Prabhuji,
yeah, you want to say anything?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I wanted to add 2 points to it.
Correct.
Like you explained, Prabhuji. So all the material endeavors are filled with duality, like you were explaining that sadness is with joy, happiness is with sorrow, death. I mean, so everything is filled with duality, but transcendental service is not having duality.
Hmm. Correct.
Like when we do the transcendental service to the Lord, there is no duality in it. There is no counterpart to it. Like if you're too happy, you'll be too sad. But when you do transcendental service, there is no duality. So it's one way, like it's constantly increasing. There is nothing to oppose it, basically. Also, when if somebody who's earned a lot of money, according to the material world, he has done everything what is possible. While he is dying, when his consciousness detaches from the material world and he has not done any activities which takes him closer to Narayana, so he feels as if the kind of guilt which comes into him at the time of death is equal to like killing his own children. That kind of guilt comes. A life wasted is like at the end of life, the kind of guilt which comes is equivalent to that. Just wanted to mention that.
Yeah. So, of course, if he knows what is the goal of life, so if he doesn't know what's the goal of life, then that's different. Uh, then he may think, well, I did not do my business nicely. I did not do this. I did not do that. And that you may have material things. I think Juhi wants to say something. She's typing.
No, I'm just saying, I do feel many a times that ideally, like devotional service to Lord Krishna should be our priority and not be our option. But due to our anarthas or whatever you want to say, like it is just so difficult. Like, um, yeah, I mean, however
Yeah, that's why we
hard,
have to do
like we
more.
try.
Yeah, to get rid of anarthas, we have to do more bhajan kriya. That's what I was saying. Ado Shraddha and more bhajana kriya. There is all the stages in Ado Shraddha, Tato Sadhu Sangha, and then Sadhu Sangha, then bhajan.
Bhajan Kriya, Nathanya Vritti.
Hmm. So if bhajan kriya is not very going good, then we have to take more sadhu sangha. If bhajan kriya is not strong, then we have to do more sadhu sangha. Sadhu sangha means, yeah, read Prabhupada's books, hear more classes, um, uh, yeah, hear from the devotees like that. More we have to do that. Then sadhu sangha will be good. Then the desire will be strong like that. And by hearing, and understanding deeply, then we will mold our life. One day we will say, no, no, now I want to change my life. I have heard, now I want to apply what I have heard. So it's enough now. I have been, yeah, I want to apply what I have heard. And yeah, this all makes sense. This all makes sense. What they are saying is making sense. So let me work towards the supreme goal of life. Like that. And let me give up those things that are not favorable for bhakti. So like that inclination will become stronger and stronger. Right now it is there, we understand, but it is not very strong. So we have to hear, chant. Of course, hearing is also bhajana kriya, but sadhu sangha means we have to be eager for hearing about Krishna more. Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, like that. So, but how will that come? That desire also has to come, right? To hear more, and then we have to pray to Krishna. Krishna, please give me this desire. I don't have that desire, but I want that desire. I want. Please give me that desire. And Krishna will be very happy, because he is not happy when we have material desires, because that will cause our suffering. But he is very happy when we have spiritual desires, or when we ask to have spiritual desires. He is very happy. Why? Because he is also hankering to get our association. He is also hankering to be with us. So when you hanker to be with him, then he is also very happy. So like that. So if we don't have that desire, we can pray, Krishna, please give me the desire. Somehow or other, I don't have this desire. It's not very strong. Krishna, can you please give me that desire? So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I just brought this because in general, like I was just analyzing general situation where like I was not able to finish my rounds. I was sick from past 2 days, but at the same time, I was thinking of Sugandha Mata when she was at our place. She was sick also, and still like she has made priority like for Krishna consciousness. And still she used to cough whole night, and still she used to wake up early in the morning and chant her rounds and still do her devotional service all day long. And at the same time here, like if I was feeling guilty, I'm not able to finish my rounds being sick. And on the other side, inner voice is also saying it's okay, like Krishna understands. I mean, I'm just trying to console my guilt that that's okay, like Krishna understands I'm sick, I'm not able to finish, that's okay. I mean, I'll just catch up later. But that happens because somewhere like it's not prioritized, and maybe I don't have that intense desire to like whatever happens, but I have to do it.
Yeah, correct. I think everybody is at different levels of where they are at. So when there is sickness, it's difficult. So when we are healthy, are we doing it? That's something we have to see. So if when we are healthy, is our chanting good quality? Is our chanting nice? Like we heard that, right? The more you sweat during peace, then less you'll bleed during war. So sickness is one thing. Yeah, we may not be able to do, but then when we are healthy, how is our chanting? How is our absorption in Krishna? And so that if that is good when we are healthy, then there is a possibility that when we are sick, then it will be also nice. So yeah, maybe Sugandha can say how she does it when she's, because I think she has good sadhana all throughout the year. So,
No, Prabhuji. It's not true. I used to wake up early because I couldn't sleep with the coughing. But yeah, it's about priority. More like Radheshyam Prabhu was saying, build your intelligence. If we hear more, then we will remember. So hearing is the key, from the devotees. How, all the other things that we do in life, working and maintaining relationships. Yeah, we should do enough, to do our responsibility. But actually, everything else is temporary, right? And this life is very short. Like you were saying, Ayush Shana Ekopina. One moment of life spent uselessly is like wasting millions of dollars. So, with the blink of an eye of, Brahma, we are gone. So, and we have gotten this rare opportunity to chant. Yeah, and disease can happen at any time. These small coughing and, sickness is very small. But if somebody gets a disease, then. And we were hearing yesterday also, right? Those who are in the good consciousness, somebody got something major disease, converting misfortune into fortune. They had already understood the purpose of life, and they were totally fearless, and they were saying, now I'm going to meet Krishna in few days. I'm going back home, back to Godhead. So that can come at any time to anyone in any age, right? So we should be ready to leave and not become attached to anything. It's our material desires, our attachments that are. And then this song that we read, right? It says that what was it saying? That the taste does not arise. It was saying because of our offenses. And when your offenses are being vanquished, then Krishna Prem will arise. Then the taste will arise. So we can also see where we are committing offenses and anarthas and stay in the association of sincere devotees.
Yeah, so we have to do whatever we can. Okay, so I'm going to say something I forgot. Yeah, we have to deeply take the philosophy also inside, right? I mean, you have to yeah, I was saying that once in a while we should go to the hospital, even if we have no, like, but of course they will not allow you inside. But you go and see all the problems everybody is having, and old age, and see all the what they are going through. If you have somebody in your home, then you can relate. So you just look around and see all these miseries, then you will be shaken up by all these miseries of life. And you can think like, oh, I will be in that situation one day. So, so why am I doing what? Am I really? I want to be in this situation all again and again, again and again. Birth, death, old age, disease. So go to the hospital and see around in the. Because I've been there, I've seen few times. I've been to the hospital and I've seen so many patients in different rooms and like that. And I went to the rehab also, and for visiting so many. So you see that, and then you will realize what is the enjoyable thing. And everybody outside also is struggling very hard. Although on the face of it they look very nice and happy. You poke them little, and there is full of anxiety inside, full of anxiety and so many things. And those who are happy, materially speaking, they are in illusion. That's a bigger problem. They don't know they have a problem and they are happy. Like you have cancer and you don't know you have cancer and you're happy. So that's the happiness like that. Material happiness is like that. Those who are happy without Krishna consciousness, like we heard Mahatma Prabhu was saying, that's a bigger problem. If you are materially happy, because then there is no impetus to practice Krishna consciousness. You feel very nice with your family and very nice with your job and everything. So it's better to like see the problems and become Krishna conscious than to be like, just happy, materially happy and forget Krishna and have a mediocre. Of course, Prabhu was saying, yes, the mediocre is good because no, you will not look for name and fame. Vidura, when he was traveling on pilgrimage, he developed a beard, and his whole attire was different, right? I mean, nobody could recognize him, so that nobody will bother him. He can do his bhakti very peacefully. Otherwise, people will ask, "What happened? Why did, why did you have to leave the palace?" And he would have to give an explanation of so many things and like that. So, so if you are just an ordinary person and not trying to be very important, then nobody will bother you. You just do your bhakti and get out. Because, but when you are trying to be very important figure in the material world, then everybody, like the celebrities, there are so many celebrities and they're inside unhappy, but we think, yeah, that's such a nice position, they're celebrities, people are after them, they want to take their autograph, this is so nice situation. But they are also in distress. Many times they also end their life and all these things happen. So that also he was mentioning yesterday. So anyhow, it's always like grass looks green on the other side, and we think that, oh, that's a nice situation, but they have their problems. So this is the trick of Maya. It makes us think that, oh, those who have this, what I don't have, they should be very happy. And if you examine those who have what you don't have, they're also not happy. So it's like that. So with every material advantage comes also so many disadvantages. Like you have a nice car now. Now you can get into an accident. Recently, one of our devotees had that accident. So it's like that. You can lose your life. You have a nice car, you have a nice thing, but you can lose your life. One devotee also lost his life in an accident. So all these things, there are advantages. Now, I'm not saying we don't use cars, but there are a lot of other disadvantages that come with it. So you can't have just happiness without misery, which is what we want in this material world. As Amit Prabhu was saying, it is like it's all adulterated. It's a package deal. It's a package deal means sometimes you say you get this, with this you get this also. So with the endeavor for happiness, you will get distress also, as Prabhupada said in this purport. What did he say? That
We were reading your email.
email, sorry. Yeah, correct. Email he was saying. Let's see if I can find this. Yeah, he says, yeah, if you have material desires and you want to enjoy, then you'll get all the threefold miseries also. So you want like this kind of life, some happiness, some distress, then again little absence of distress, then you're happy. This is like he says, yeah, by the laws of nature, one is then offered another body to fulfill his unsatisfied desires, and upon taking birth again, accepting another, one voluntarily accepts. So you have to accept when you are celebrating birth, then you have to lament for death also, because for every birth there is death. So it's all dualities in this world. You want this, then you also get the other side. So, and we have settled for this because we think, yeah, this is how life is. But Prabhupada and all the acharyas, they come and they say, no, this is not how it is. This is not how it should be. So, of course, we find some happiness, right, in material things. But when we get some nice, job with lot of money, or we get some nice food to eat, or nice car, we feel happiness, or nice whatever, you feel some happiness. That is nice. But then you should think, yeah, this is Krishna's favor on me, and Krishna has put me in such a nice situation. So if I got extra money, then I should use it to serve Krishna. And Krishna gave me this nice situation so that I can engage in his service without any, like discomfort. So Krishna gave me this nice situation. And this nice situation will always not be nice all the time. That's another aspect of it. We should not get carried away by the nice situation and think it's going to last forever. So the health is also going to break down at some point. Like you may have seen your relatives or somebody. At one time they were very healthy, but now they have difficulty with so many things. So If they had it, I could also have it. Why not? I will also have like that. So we don't relate to this. That's the whole problem. We don't relate to this because we think, yeah, it's happening to them. It's not happening to me. And sometimes people say, when it happens to me, I will see. Why are you worried about it now? Why are you worried about? Somebody told me that. Death is just an event in life. Why are you worried about it? Old age, maybe last 5, 10 years you'll be old. But why are you spending your 20, 30 years, 40 years thinking about that last 10 years of your life and old age? But we are not like saying that we become like depressed or anything, but we have to prepare. For them, death means just that's the end of everything. But for those who know, we don't die really. We are going to next life. So we prepare for our next life. So that's what it is. Death is a transition, and it's like preparing for our next chapter. Just like we went to school, we studied, we got a degree because we prepared for our next chapter of life in this life, right? Because we got a job and things like that. We prepared for that. So similarly, this we have to prepare for the next. And if you don't prepare and you live life whimsically, then it's a problem. Then you may not get a job when you grow up. Like when children don't study anything, they're like loafers, then their career is not made. And when they grow up, then they don't have a job and then they have to struggle very hard because they didn't make a career. So similarly, if in this life we didn't think about our next life and where we are going, and we didn't prepare, then we have to again come back and struggle. So this is first we have to accept that we are the soul. We are not. We have to accept this. We are not this body. We are the soul, and we will live forever. But then where we will go? This is the first thing to understand. Then spiritual life makes sense. So that's why Prabhupada oftentimes he emphasizes that you are not that body. Yesterday also Prabhupada was saying, this is the dress, this is just like our Vesha. And of course, I am also speaking about it. Now there is one thing to speak and there is another thing to realize. So realization, like Mahatma Prabhu was saying, yes, Mahamantra means, oh Lord, please engage me in your service. But are you really feeling that? Are you really feeling that we should engage in service like that? So we can quote many scriptures and many verses, but are we really feeling that I am not this body? I am spirit soul. Are we in that consciousness? I can say so many verses from the Bhagavad Gita. Dehi nosmin yatha dehe kaumaram. But we have to really feel from the heart that yes, I am spirit soul, I am servant of Krishna. Krishna is God. That is taking it deeper. Otherwise, it remains like academic knowledge. Academic knowledge, which you can learn by, like they were saying, somebody came to Prabhupada and said, this person knows all the 800 verses of Gita or 700 verses. How many verses are there? 700, right? 700 verses. 700. But he said, can you live the verses? It's not knowing. You can memorize so many verses and so many things like that. But can we live by that? Can we really take it deep inside our heart and actually, live by it, feel it? Otherwise, academic knowledge, yeah, so many people are scholars. So that is also something. I mean, I'm telling this to myself, not to anybody else, but this is the main thing. In our school we do magga marna means you just mug it up, but internally there is no like understanding it. You just mug it up and then you vomit it out in the exam. So it should not become like that. Of course, it's good to memorize, but we have to internalize the verse. That's the more difficult part. Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah, and if we have, I don't know why we get an echo. If we have practiced devotional service, sometimes very nicely. Yesterday, Prabhu was saying that Narad Muni quotes a verse in Bhagavatam. Not sure which verse, and I'll find. If you have tasted devotional service, and the drops of bliss will always bring you back to the association of devotees. And if you try to do sense gratification, then you will feel guilty. So, once we have gotten this knowledge, then we can't enjoy sense gratification. So persons who have their legs in both the boats, they are very unhappy because they're not like fully committed to Krishna and they're not fully enjoying material life. So better put both of your legs in the boat of Krishna consciousness so that you are in bliss, because actually everybody wants to be happy.
yes, you have to relish the taste of bhakti. Then only. Just like money is the honey. They say Prahlad Maharaj says money is the honey. So people will travel so much, right? They will go from one city to the next city. They will spend 4 days, then come back, and then again travel next week, then again come back, again travel. They do so much. Of course, it's a necessity also. We need to have money. So, without money, but sometimes people have enough, but they are just, they want more. So, they are just doing this and that and so many. It's like an intoxication. Money is like an intoxication, right? So, because they got taste for it. So, they got taste for it. So, they're doing so much and they're contemplating how to get more money, how to get more money, and where can I invest this, and what can I this maybe. Of course, we should invest our whatever. Like we want money to serve Krishna, or we can retire sooner. We don't have to work, or you're working to serve Krishna, like many of our devotees are doing that. Many big donors of our temple are doing working to serve Krishna. So that's different. But yeah, so I'm talking about the materialistic. They have got their, they have been intoxicated by this kind of thing, by wealth or desire for name, fame, or just desire to become very important in this material world. So they are working very hard to establish some status in this material world. So devotee also, because they have got some taste for it. So So devotee should get some taste in bhakti, which will then, keep him going in this. So we should endeavor to get taste. Pray to Krishna to give us some taste. I want some taste, Krishna, in serving you. Because without taste, it's very difficult just to be on an intellectual platform. It's there, but as soon as what happens on intellectual platform, as soon as there is something else that is more gratifying, then immediately, intellectual platform doesn't last long. There are many jnanis and yogis. They are on intellectual platform, but bhakti gives taste. But that taste also doesn't come easy. That's also another thing. That happiness in bhakti. If one relishes that happiness in bhakti, then then he'll be satisfied. He'll be satisfied. And he will not hanker for material happiness because he got superior form of happiness. So that's the whole idea of. Prabhupada also said the goal of life is to be happy, is to become happy. We are all looking for happiness, and now sometimes you can dovetail, you can have Yeah, suddenly you can't give up the material desires because they are very deep rooted and very strong. So you dovetail it. So you dovetail it in Krishna's service somehow. So I want to like whatever desire I have, then I want to have a family. Okay. I want to have children. Okay, then make your children Krishna conscious. So like that. I want to have a big house. Okay, then use your house to serve Krishna. I want to have a nice car. Okay, then use your car in Krishna's service. So like that you can dovetail desires. But those desires may be fulfilled or may not be fulfilled also. So so if we are attached to the desire, then based on that fulfillment or not fulfillment of desire, we'll experience happiness or distress. But if you're free from that, if Krishna gives, yeah, that's fine. Krishna wants, like yesterday, I was saying, like if Krishna wants me to get a lot of money, was he saying that yesterday? Maybe I heard somewhere. Krishna wants to give money, then it's okay. Let him give. Correct? He was saying that. Anybody heard that? Yes.
In what context?
Yeah, maybe I don't remember then. Maybe I heard it.
I mean, he was saying about devotee being santushta. He was saying that devotee just need khichdi and he can lie in one corner. And it's like, fish, whether it's in a bucket of water or in the ocean, as long as there's small contact with the water, the fish is happy. So, yeah, the devotee doesn't want anything much. Whatever Krishna gives him is santusht.
Like there is a quote from Prabhupada, right? A Vaishnava can lie down anywhere. He just needs a little prasadam and a place to lie down. And then if there is some service for Krishna, let me gladly do it. So he's very satisfied like that. There's a quote.
Yeah, yeah, I remember he said that like if you want to make a lot of money or something, like Krishna will do that if the Krishna wants. Yeah, he said that. I remember.
Yeah. Okay, we'll read Srimad Bhagavatam. Sorry, I didn't just talking all this. So.
And it's based on your karma only, what you get. So you should not over endeavor and try to achieve much. If things have to happen, if you have to become a millionaire, it will happen automatically. Do just enough, but in that too, if you become a millionaire, then what? You'll lose everything. So, but Krishna, the bhakti and the eternal credits we attain with, chanting the holy name, that's our real wealth. This basic should be clear.
Yeah, like we didn't, this thing decide that we will come in this family. He was saying like that. We will have this kind of mouth and nose and everything. We didn't have any control over that. We came into this world. How we came, it was decided for us. Where we will be born, which family, what kind of body we will get, and what kind of we don't decide the pigment of our skin, how much whether.
Yeah, but I mean, in one sense, we did
Correct, we decided also.
kind of, because our own activities and our desires will lead us to a situation which is matching. Parents, if our karma is to get cancer, then some genetic disorder is there in the family, so will be put into that family, or some
Yeah.
karmic balances with the parents.
In one sense, yeah, actually, karmana deva netrena, according to our desires and our karma, we get transmigrate. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, if we do bhakti, then we are born in a devotee family, so we actually chose to be born in a devotee family.
Yeah, that's correct. That's there. Yes, based on our free will and our desire, only we go. But like they decided, we did whatever we had to do. We didn't know that this kind of action is going to result in this kind of family and this. Exactly, we cannot pinpoint how we came here in this because there are so many karmas we have done for so many lifetimes and we don't remember. And they decided for us. So the higher authorities. But of course, we did those karmas, and it's a cumulative effect of all the karmas from so many lifetimes that we get our next body. So yeah, that's true. But exactly, they decided. We did our thing, and then just like the project manager decides your appraisal, you did your thing, you did your work throughout the year, and then the project manager says, okay, this is what you will get. So,
Mhm. Yeah, so he was saying this
But
in context of, sorry, one second, devotees being envious of others' progress.
mm,
So you should not make unhealthy comparison because you have gotten what you deserved.
correct. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
no, I was saying that the human life is very, like, as you said, that, as per our karma, we get a body as per our desire, and we get the body. But when we get body, human body first time, it's all because of mercy of Krishna. Because when you stop, he stops the 8.4 million birth. Suppose that if somebody is in the animal form or something like any form, and but because of that, because of mercy, total mercy of Krishna, we get a human body first time. Because I don't think so in any, only the human form is the high intellect, and we can incur karmas and all. But in the lower species, we can say that we have desire to be a human form in the next life. But I was thinking that the same thing, because if we think, if we feel gratitude towards Krishna, because there are so many things Lord has given, and this human life, which is very rare, it's he stops like 8.4 million birth and give a human form of life. And I think I was listening one lecture from Brindra Prabhu, and he was saying that like in India, when we go to the temple, there's a two queues, a VIP queues and um, general people queue. And when someone VIP person comes to take darshan of the Lord, and then they stop the general queue, and the VIP person go, they take darshan quickly and easily. So similarly, Lord has given, like, he stops that birth 8.4 million species, and he give a human form of life. It is all total mercy of Krishna. And instead of this, Lord has given so many other things. He gives the bhakti sukriti also, which may not have in our previous life if we are in the lower species. Um, he gave a association of the devotees. He gave books, deity worship, dham, and there are so many other things. And give it that, like, if we see the calendar of Vaishnava calendar, every day is like a festival. So yeah, it is a best gift that we have. And if we feel low much gratitude, if we feel like that, if that's why he said that, like, we have to be very grounded, then we can see up and uh see the mercy of Lord, because it's all where and how we can take up that. So yeah, and this human body, if we see the all the human body is come with a package. All the senses we have, we can see, we can eat, we can think, and they are perfectly fit in our body. So and this means to serve Lord only, because eventually in the material world, whatever we gain, as you said, Prabhuji was saying that whatever we gain, it ultimately it has to be lost, even before death or after death, it has to be lost. So we spent, either we have seen that, we have heard either somebody stole the money, or someone has any issues, health issues, they spent money, a lot of money on the health. And if not gonna, if nothing happens like that, then ultimately if you'll get at that, you have to lose everything at the death. So it's like that. Someone has given example of like bees, and he also said that the like a honeybee, we collect, like a honeybee collect the whole, spend all life to collect the honey, but someone will come with the fire stick, and all the bees fly and save their, to save their lives, and honey will be collected by that person. So similarly, it happens whatever in education, money, wealth, whatever we collect. This is earth. So we are not just thinking to collect earth. We have to collect paramarth. because that is we will be with us. Um, yeah, so we are just, yeah, I like that point that you have to make the prioritize. If you think that there are so many things, even this human form is a total mercy of Krishna, and what we are supposed to do, we don't have any other, I don't have any opportunity in my, maybe in previous life I don't know what I was and what I will be. So I have now my human life, which is very rare, and it's all because of Krishna. So I have to feel gratitude that you have given me so much, and I have to serve you. We are just spending time. We are cleaning the car. We are not feeding. We are not taking care of the driver. So it's the same case, like we are decorating the body but not the bird who is in the cage. So it's all about that, what we can make a priority. Our bhajan kriya is a priority, and devotional service is our priority, and then only we can be happy, because we can connect ourselves to the Lord. And when we connect soul to super soul, then we can feel bliss and be happy. And that's my thoughts, Prabhuji.
Thank you for sharing. Yes, actually, if they say we should, it's like you want $1 million, right? Or not $1 million, maybe more. You want that Powerball. What is that Powerball? What is how much you get in that lottery? 50 million, 60 million, whatever it is. So you should think like that. You want, if we get that lottery like that, won't we be very happy? We'll be dancing in joy, right? Oh, I got so much money. I don't know if they get all the money, but so similarly, when you get the human form of life, you should feel like, oh, after so many, many births, now I have got this rare opportunity. I've got this golden opportunity to become eternally happy. Like when you get a lot of money, you won the lottery, then you feel like, oh, now I don't have to work anymore. I got so much money, I can just enjoy. So this human form of life is like that, right? It gives you eternal it can give you eternal happiness in the spiritual world. And here also, if you are completely fully pure devotee and you become Krishna conscious. So I've got the opportunity to become fully blissful. Right? So we should be dancing in joy, just having the human body. Oh Krishna, this is, as you were saying, it's so mercy, so much mercy, Krishna, you've given this human body. So wonderful. I'm so you feel like just as you get a lottery and you feel so enthusiastic and so, because we can relate to that. I'm giving that example. Maybe some of you can't relate to this because you don't have any material desires, but I'm just saying that supposing they tell you won like, what is it, $200 million or something like that, of which at least you'll get $150 million. 50 million will go in taxes, but maybe you'll get $150 million. Then you'll be dancing in joy. So we should actually feel like, yeah, this is so nice. I have this human form of life. Krishna gave me this 2 hands, 2 legs, and also I've gotten eyes and the ears and the mouth. Everything Krishna has given me fully, because there are people who can't speak, there are people who can't hear, but I have gotten everything Krishna has given me. I can see, I can. What a wonderful opportunity to become Krishna conscious. So like that we can.
Yeah, and more rare than the human body is the association of devotees.
Correct. Yeah. After getting the human body, yes, I got Srila Prabhupada's books and all this, the right message from devotional service. I can perform devotional service. I'm so fortunate. I'm so fortunate. So like that, if we think, we'll be very enthused that, yeah, this is so nice. Krishna is so kind.
And in one sense, Prabhuji, if we say that he was saying that, I'm just quoting it here, like our the senses, every senses has the they are like what he says that the demigods are the in charge of all the senses, right? Like we have mind, it's like a moon who is controlling deity of the mind, and sun god is for vision, like that. We have hands and throat and all. So, and what logically, I'm just saying, all the demigods are supposed to serve Lord, right? So, and we have the senses, and our the sense, and the demigods are the in charge of our senses. So ideally we also, um, our system and our senses are supposed to serve the Lord. But sometimes it happens, like, we have seen in the demigods also, like, we get bewildered or in put in illusion or something. But ideally we use our senses in service of Lord. Mm, and as you said, and he also is like one point, I on the power of association, he said person will know will known about their association. Even he was saying about the um, some examples in Bhagavatam, like, when a person, like even Krishna also known as Arjun Sakha. So he was known, first he was known by his company. And even he was, even I think recently in Putana series, he was saying the, like, Putana is known by his her company. So he was saying many examples, like Vidur also, Uddhav also known by his company. So in the verses, the person who we are associated with comes in the first, and that person comes later. So it's very important that whom we are associated with. If you are in an association with in a sadhu sangha, or a satsanga or a satsanga. And one example, he said that Ravana, he is listening, he is hearing about the bodily feature of Mother Sita, by, was the name of that, Shrubnakha, right? So, and because he is in a satsanga, and the same Hanuman, he listen, hear about her bodily features, um, by in Vaishnav association. So there will be there will be two different effect on their minds. So we have to be very careful that whom we are associated with. And even in one lecture, Radhesham Prabhu was explaining that everything starts with the bad association. So even nectar of instruction, there's list like 6 kinds of things, and he said that everything starts with bad association. If you are in that association, then there will be no Krishna Katha, only Prajalpa. And he also described like there are 5 kinds of Prajalpa, like some of them I just remind, like the debate or arguments or blasphemy or like that. These are all comes under the Prajalpa. And when person involved in the Prajalpa, there will be no Krishna Katha. And then, we're talking about that, oh, that person has money, and then we desire to enjoy more. The desire, the intensity to desire more will increase. And then it caused atyahar. Like, we started to over endeavoring, over accumulation of um, anything, like, you can say materially or spiritually also. He was saying that, like, collecting the so many books. And if you talk about, if someone has, like, to collect more books, habit of collecting more books, but how many of we read that books? So it is also comes under like atyahar. So, and you're eating, no, no overeating or no less eating. He was saying example of, like, we have to eat like a truck driver, because the truck driver has to drive in the nighttime. Then he may slip. He's not eating much, or he's not eating less. So, and then becomes niyamagra. So there will be no time to follow our no sadhana, the rules, regulations, what we, our, and sometimes we just follow the rules and regulations just for sake. We have to do that, we do. And then everything will comes, when we come in a bad association. So, and similarly in the it's just vice versa with the good association, in a sadhu sangha association. So yeah, I was saying that, everything depends on, whom we are associate with, what we are talking about. And if anybody wants to make advancement in spiritually, if desire to, everything comes with desire. Because of our desire, we desire to enjoy materially. That's why we are here. And if we desire spiritually with Krishna, then we can be there. But yeah, we have to be very careful with whom we are associated with.
Thank you. Yeah. So we have to desire the right things, and we should have desire to give up the wrong things. Basically, that's the. Even if we don't have desire to do the right things, Krishna, please give me. I want to have this desire, and I want to give up this desire. So you should like tell the mind, no, no, this is not this desire. I don't want. I don't want. The mind is saying, no, no, but this will give you happiness. No, no, I don't want this desire. It's like a battle. The mind is because what is good for the mind is not good for the soul always. So mind is saying so many things, and it may not be good for my consciousness. So mind is saying, no, no, this if you get this, then I'll be very happy. The mind is going on, and you say, no, no, this is not going to make you happy. Look at other people who have this. Are they happy? Like that you can. So you have to engage in a debate with your mind also. So, and if it's not favorable for bhakti, then yeah, should. And there are certain things that we want, and the mind is saying no. So that also, I want to read the books of Prabhupada. I want to, go for the class. I want to do this, that. And mind is saying, no, no, no. Now you have so many. Now you don't have to get up early in the morning. This is so many things and like that. Of course, we have to also analyze our lifestyle and be practical, right? Because if we have a night job and things like that, we can't get up early in the morning. So, but sometimes we have all the facility and still the mind doesn't allow us to take advantage of the facility. So, like we have this facility in the human life and the mind is sabotaged. Sabotaged means hijacked all our good facility that we have got in the human form of life by its own program. The mind is hijacked. So we should not allow our mind to hijack or ruin our spiritual life. We should not allow the mind to ruin our spiritual life. Like somebody, you have something very valuable and somebody is trying to snatch it away from you. So you protest. Arey, you cannot take this away from me. This is very, like many times, people are attacked and they have a purse in their hand or something and somebody attacks and they're they don't want to give it away. Of course, it's better to give it away, otherwise that person will shoot. But I'm just giving an example that when we have this valuable human life and the good opportunity to become Krishna conscious, the mind should not like interfere and say, no, we'll take it away or something like that, snatch it away or engage in something else. So it is also only for a limited time you have the opportunity. Just like if you don't have a job and you want to apply for a job, there is an opening. They will say we'll accept applications till only certain date. After that, no more applications. Then we'll close the job and we'll evaluate all the applications. But if you didn't apply in that window, and then you saw, okay, oh God, I didn't apply for that job posting, then you lost. Even you may have a good resume, whatever, but you didn't apply. They have closed the opportunity because they are going to evaluate for a certain time. So it's just like a window that's kept open in human form of life for a few years, where you can, go back to home, back to Godhead. The door has been opened after being imprisoned for a long time. They've opened the door. Like a bird is in the cage, and then you open the cage and let the bird fly away. There's an opportunity for the bird to go out and, but the bird says, no, no, no. This prison is nice. I have to do, like the Indra, he was cursed to become a pig. He says, no, 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 I'm very happy with this, that, so many things here, so many duties I have in this world that I don't want to take up Krishna consciousness. then I have to finish this duty, like that story of Kailash also. He's saying, no, no, later on, later on, later on. And later on, he died also. And he never got to that. So that's why Prabhupada sometimes says there should be urgency. And Prabhupada Saraswati says like that, right? You should run to Vrindavan. You know, forget, run to Vrindavan. As if you have got like a terminal disease and you are at the last stage of your life. I often think about this, that, now it's healthy. Of course, we don't have to run to Vrindavan, because then everybody goes to Vrindavan. Then, as Bhakti Charu Maharaj was saying, that if everybody lives in Vrindavan, who will save all the people in the cities, and who will distribute books of Srila Prabhupada if everybody stays in Vrindavan? But we can create Vrindavan wherever we are by our consciousness. So, and in our home, and the temple is also Vrindavan. So there are so many temples. So that is also there. Yeah, we have to think that time is coming to a close soon. Sometimes if you get this, like, notice somebody says, now you have only 2 more years to live. What will you do? You have only 2 more years to live. Then you will use every bit of your time to, and somebody says, no, now you have another 30 years to live. Then you say, okay, 30 years are there, which is also very short time, but in our mind says, oh, 30 more years, okay. I'm only like now 40, 50, another 30 years, 80 years, okay, that's good. I've lived that long. So it's 80 is okay, it's not bad life, it's long life. I will do later on. But if you have that thing that I have very short time left, then let me do the essential, whatever needs to be done right now, then you will do it. Otherwise, you will think, I have to do this, I have to do that. After this will happen, then I will do this, then I will get, like Bhaktisiddhanta, Prabhupada told Bhaktisiddhanta, yeah, after India becomes independent, then we can preach Krishna consciousness then. So you have to take it as like, yeah, no, it cannot wait. Now is the time to surrender. Future will never happen. Now is the time to become a pure devotee. Like that we should think. Not that in future, okay, like that. It will linger. Or everything is going to linger on in this material existence. Like sometimes, you don't chant your rounds fully in the morning. Then you let it linger. Then now it's 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the evening, and still you have 10 rounds remaining. And then you're thinking, how can this be done? Okay, let me do it next day. I will keep a log of my rounds. I have not chanted 10 rounds. Tomorrow I'll chant 26 rounds. 16 plus 10, 26. And then it's like that, lingering happens. So whatever is to be done, if it's important to you, you do it immediately. Like in your basement, if supposing there is a water coming out, right, from the sump pump, and it's flooding your basement, it's like you call some plumber immediately. You can take whatever money you have to take, but you have to stop this water. It's coming in my basement. It's an emergency. So we have to treat like that also. It's an emergency situation. I have to do it. It can't wait till later. Like in your office also, sometimes they say it's a showstopper. This has to be this is affecting the business, and until the problem is resolved, we have to work on it. We have to fix this problem because it is affecting production. So you can't say, no, I will go to sleep, then tomorrow when I wake up, then I will look at the problem. No, if you have to stay awake at night, you have to fix it, you have to fix it. So that kind of, when we have thing, then we will be able to make spiritual advancement. Yes, it's an emergency situation. I have to become Krishna conscious. There is no tomorrow. So like that. I'm just saying this to myself also. So, but we think, yeah, material life will go on, it's nice. nice. Later on, it'll become better. Yeah. Somebody want to say something?
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
So one another example is of Vidura and Dhritarashtra.
Hmm.
So I was hearing the lecture by His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj on who is a true friend.
Hmm.
Uh, and in that particular pastime, we see that Vidura, he was so compassionate when he see the situation of Dhritarashtra, who was uh, who has done so many abominable things because of attachment to his son Duryodhan. But Vidura, he was so compassionate that he actually stepped forward and he spoke with Dhritarashtra and made him realize that what he's doing is all attachment and he needs to get out of this. And eventually he helped Dhritarashtra to come out of it.
Hmm.
So I think here the story that Maharaj narrated to kind of say that who the true friend is, and we also say devotee association, right? So that is means the usually the definition of the friend in material world is someone who uh, act or speak as we want to hear or as we would like to get it done. For example, if we have a need and someone help us, then we have a definitely a respect and we start thinking him or her as a friend. But the same person, when he doesn't act in future as per what we need,
Hmm.
then we think, oh, she is no more my friend.
Hmm.
But I think that true friendship is basically a person who thinks even beyond these material needs and wants and always think for well wishing. So this is one example Maharaj was sharing using Vidura and how he was a true friend.
Hmm.
I think in our conversation, I think Mataji, you all also explained the devotee association, right? So that essentially I feel it's the same, right? So devotees, the real association of devotees is not to uh, help us, no, not to even uh, make anyone to get into wants and needs of the material attachment, but make him realize and then try to slowly making getting out of this material conditioning. That is as you do in every lecture, right? Speaking of chanting, the significance of chanting, start with 1 round, 2 rounds, 3 rounds, 4 rounds. So that's really a quality of a true friend. That's what I would like to share to Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Sadhu means one who cuts. So basically, who cuts our material desires and brings us closer to Krishna. That is the real friend, sadhu. Not one who enhances our material desires. So, because okay, those who enhance material desires, then that's like prolonging our stay in the prison. So, somebody who takes us out of the prison is our real friend, not somebody who just makes us comfortable in the prison. And of course, you can be comfortable in the prison if you're Krishna conscious, but not just that we become attached to the prison. So, sadhu is like that. They will speak the truth and they will cut our uh, all these material desires from the heart. And because we are attached to the material desires, we may feel like, oh, he's saying all these things, he's not my friend, but he's your real friend. So that's how.
Yeah, yesterday he gave the example of Suniti, how without even talking with Suruchi, she changed her by her good qualities and giving right advice to Dhruva to not be, uh, do not have grudge towards Suruchi.
Yeah, the achar has to be there. They say example is better than precept. So by good. But Vidura in this case, as you were saying, he had to come and speak very harshly also. Some it's all different things for different. Sometimes they change. Like Prabhupada also spoke very strongly, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and so by words, Vidura cut the attachment of Dhritarashtra. So, or by example, by looking at Suniti changed Suruchi's. I mean, she realized her mistake. Suruchi realized her mistake. If Suniti would have become opposed to Suruchi at that point when she refused to allow Dhruva to sit, of course she couldn't do anything also. She was helpless because the king was not going to listen because he was blinded by affection for his wife. So,
Yeah, he was saying that you can bring the best out of a person or you can bring the worst out of a person. Don't tamper with their false ego. But the sadhu exactly does that, right? Like you say, he cuts their false ego by his sharp words.
yeah, it's like in this case, Vidura is directly telling. But then there is also the story of Narad Muni and Prachini Bari, right? He doesn't tell him directly what he should do. Like that other, he just tells about some other story of King Puranjana. And because if you would have directly told him, then he would have felt very hurt. And
Yeah, and I mean, Vidura could have done the same to Dhritarashtra early on, but now that Dhritarashtra has lost everything, he has become humble. Like Krishna has made him humble in that sense, material sense, that he has lost all his sons and prestige, and so now it's the best time for him to understand the spiritual knowledge.
when material nature beats you up, you become humble, and then you have more receptivity to spiritual knowledge. Like it happened with Chitraketu Maharaj also. Chitraketu Maharaj was not in a position to hear this spiritual knowledge as we understand because he was blinded by his desire to have a son. But when he lost his son, he became distressed, and then that was the time, that he came. So Dhritarashtra also now he has lost everything. His sons have died. Everything is gone. So Krishna also arranges that situation in the life of a devotee to make him humble, so that the receptivity and the seriousness about spiritual life becomes more like more acute. Otherwise, it doesn't happen. The pride is smashed. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I mean, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching us how to smash the pride by being humble, as in the case of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. For 7 days he was hearing from Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, and Prakashananda Saraswati also, he was sitting in the place where people were washing their feet. So, and also with Keshav Kashmiri, he broke their pride with his humility.
Yeah, we have to. Sometimes it's not. We should not speak directly, but like in Bhagavad Gita, there is a verse: one should not disturb the minds of those who are material consciousness. Something like that is there, but rather they should show by example how to engage everything in service of the Lord. There is some verse. Sometimes the sadhu may speak directly and strongly. Sometimes he may do something. It all depends on the difference.
Yeah, that verse is also the Anudvega Karam Vakyam Satyam Paramitam. That the speech should not be agitating to others. It should be pleasing and truthful.
That's a challenge, right? Truthful and not agitating. Like yesterday, also, he was saying that, yeah, you can speak the philosophy light, but don't change the philosophy. Like, don't speak something else in the name of, trying to. You can speak light philosophy, something like that he was saying, right?
That's right. Yeah, for him, he spoke everything straight. He addressing the college students also, right?
Yeah.
Krishna and chanting Hare Krishna.
But I asked Lankar Prabhu, he said, yeah, the devotees, the students said that it was little too much
Above the head.
about the class. He saying, Lankar Prabhu was saying that it was a little too much for them to digest. And Prabhu also felt like that, he was saying. But yeah, it's sometimes, I don't know, it's how others perceive. But many times we should just tell the truth. Because if we just think about how others perceive, if you're one on one, yeah, you can. But if you are speaking in the temple, then you have to say, you can't say like whatever is the truth, you have to speak the truth. And then somebody likes it, because there is different audiences in the. Basically, preaching means to bring other people closer to Krishna consciousness. That's the actual preaching. So how we can motivate them to become closer to Krishna. That's the, not discourage them and not overwhelm them. It's how we can bring anybody closer to Krishna. So sometimes people are in kindergarten. So you have to speak according to kindergarten. You can't speak according to the PhD level. But in temple, sometimes it's a challenge, right? Sometimes some new people come, and then there are devotees also. So what do you say? It's a mixed crowd, and you can't keep thinking also, what am I saying? Then you can't focus on your class also. You thinking whether is this person perceiving properly what I'm saying, and how is he perceiving it, and whether I should speak this or not. Then you can't speak what you have to speak also. It sometimes becomes challenging. So, correct, right? Suddenly some new people will come, and then you have to
Yes.
speak light philosophy. You can't say too much heavy things, because then
Mhm.
they will not come back again, because they may think that, oh, this is too much to.
Yeah. But we see Srila Prabhupada's lectures, and they are straightforward, heavy philosophy. And to the Americans, those are new. So
Correct.
I don't know, he didn't follow this process of light philosophy.
Correct.
But he's Prabhupada, so and the times were different also. There
I
were
think Krishna will
hippies.
give intelligence in the heart, whatever we have to say, and when we have how to say, and that's up to Krishna will give knowledge. But it may be different for different devotees. Somebody say, well, Krishna inspired me this way. Somebody say, oh, Krishna, and then you cannot say this is right and this is wrong. So,
That's why he was saying yesterday we should target the low hanging fruit, like those who are already interested in spirituality but they don't have the right path. Then we should capture them first, rather than to a person who we have to pull very hard. And there are people out there who are waiting for to to get this philosophy and spiritual knowledge. So
yeah, he said his target was mostly Indians who have come to America, like that.
yeah, he's targeting Indians coming to America. Yeah, and that too, he gives star rating to the people he meets. Right, those who are very interested, he will call them first. And
Yeah, but there is also great need for Western preaching, because Prabhupada said like that I didn't come to Africa to see all the Indians. Where are the local Africans? And some people are saying this is not an Indian society for Krishna consciousness; it's international society for Krishna consciousness. So we need to get the locals also.
yeah, I think he was saying in regards to building a support. So if more people join, then we'll have more preaching efforts. Then we can reach out to more people. So
Yeah,
to
his
get that
focus is on
support.
Indian. That's good. Whatever he's doing is very amazing. That, like, yeah, but others have to also, those who are, because when Americans come to Indian temple, I was told, and they see all Indian. Americans come to ISKCON and they see all Indians, then they will think, am I in the right place? So,
Mm-hmm.
because they feel like, okay, all Indians are there here. There is no Western here. Some,
Yeah, I think it helps to have a leader who is Western. Like in the DC temple, we have the president of the temple is
mm,
American or from Europe. So we have a lot of diverse crowd
mm,
because I mean, if they are doing preaching, doing books distribution, then people can relate to them.
correct. Yeah. Like if we go into a temple where all Africans are there, then we may think, oh, this is for the African people. This is not for us. Something like that. New people, new person may think like that. So yeah, so it's good to have some American devotees.
And above all, those who are desiring instead of American, Indian, African, Krishna made an arrangement. Yesterday, it was an incident happened. Yesterday, we were in some educational program, and someone asked the name of Krishna, and my husband, he said that my name is Krishna,
Mm,
and then a person was very enthusiastic. He said that, oh, your name is on the god Krishna, and he was a white American,
mm,
and he was very excited to hear the name Krishna, and he came to us, and then he was, "Oh, so I know the god Krishna." Then we were very happy to see that, like, somebody, I'm not expecting someone that who is even in the classroom, there are so many students were there, and teachers, they are teaching, and instead of, he was just saying that my name is Krishna, and he was very exclaimed, and he said that, oh, you are the name, I know the god Krishna. So
mm,
somewhere he was like, he heard about that, or he said that he watched some um there's some what do you call it, short movie or something on Prabhupada,
mm,
Srila Prabhupada, and he watched somewhere, and he was very inclined towards that, and he wanted to talk to us, but we will talk later. But that was a remind that, we don't know that when and how Krishna made an arrangement that we can come in
mm.
contact, at least we can discuss
Yeah, some
about
people are
Krishna.
attracted. Like we have one Bhakta Max, right? He likes to read Upanishads and things like that. He's very interested in
Yeah.
Sanskrit, and so some people are very by nature somehow they have past connection or something there. He will recite Narayana Upanishad and so many things. But yeah, he's one of the few who are like looking for Eastern philosophy and Eastern. Okay, so we'll read one verse. It's we didn't read any verse. येषां न तुष्टो भगवान् यज्ञलिङ्गो जनार्दनः तेषां श्रमो हि अपार्थाय यदात्मा नादृता स्वयं. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Janardhan, Lord Krishna, is the form to accept all the results of sacrifice. If he is not satisfied, then one's labor for advancement is futile. He is the ultimate self, and therefore one who does not satisfy him certainly neglects his own interests. So the part has to satisfy the whole, then the part will be nourished. That's how we should take it. Otherwise, we may think, well, Krishna is selfish and he just wants everybody to serve him. No, because we are part of him. The part's health is in nourishing the whole. So Brahma is deputed as the supreme head of universal affairs, and he in turn deputes Manu and others as charged the affairs of the material manifestation. But the whole show is for the satisfaction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Everything is there for the satisfaction of Supreme Lord. And in the satisfaction of Supreme Lord lies our happiness, because we are part of him. Brahma knows how to satisfy the Lord, and similarly, persons engaged in the line of Brahma's plan of activities also know how to satisfy the Lord. The Lord is satisfied by the process of devotional service. So, Lord is satisfied by love. Devotional service means love, loving service. with devotion, service with devotion. So he's satisfied with that. Consisting of the 9 processes of hearing, chanting. It is in one's own self-interest to execute prescribed devotional service, and anyone who neglects this process neglects his own self-interest. So, by neglecting Krishna, we are neglecting our own health, because everyone wants to satisfy senses, but above the senses, the mind, above the mind is the intelligence, and above the intelligence is the individual self, and above the individual self is the super self. Indriyani parani ahu indriyabhya param manaha manasastu para buddhi yo buddhi paragastu saha. Above even the super self is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu Tattva. So above the soul is the super soul, and above soul is Bhagavan. Super soul is Bhagavan, Vishnu Tattva. The primeval Lord and the cause of all causes is Shri Krishna. The complete process of perfectional service is to render service for the satisfaction of the transcendental senses of Lord Krishna, who is known as Janardhan. Okay, so to render service to Krishna. In rendering service to Krishna is our own interests. He is the ultimate self, and therefore one. Nate vidu swartha gatim hi Vishnu. Our real swartha is to serve Krishna. Not our. Sometimes we think that is Krishna's interest. This is not my interest. We may think like that, right? Serving Krishna is for Krishna's interest. Like in this world, if you serve somebody, you are serving the company. It's for company's interest. But by serving company's interest, we also get our interest fulfilled. We get our paycheck. So we get our thing like that. So same way.
Yeah, same thing as, feeding the stomach. It nourishes all body parts, or feeding the root of the tree nourishes everything, part of the tree. I say, Yasmin tushte jagat tushtam. If Krishna is satisfied, then everybody is satisfied. Like the example is given of Krishna eating a piece of rice when Durvasa Muni came to the Pandavas. Krishna ate little vegetables sticking to the pot, right? And all the disciples, so many millions of disciples of Durvasa Muni got satisfied. So one example. Now Krishna, if he is satisfied, then automatically we are.
And to feel that, we have to actually do bhakti. So yesterday Sutapa Prabhu was saying that, if we are doing bhakti, then we are not feeling satisfied. Yatma suprasidati, or happy. That means we are not doing unalloyed, unconditional devotional service. Unalloyed, uninterrupted devotional service. Because if we are doing unalloyed, uninterrupted devotional service, then we will have to be satisfied. There is no other way. It's like you water the root of the plant, then the leaf has to be nourished. So it's not possible that you are watering and the leaf is not nourished. Of course, if the plant is dying or something, that's different, but it's just an analogy. So if you are doing devotional service properly, then you must feel if you're not feeling, then we have to examine what I'm doing wrong. I'm making offenses, I'm not following properly. Then, or my devotional service is not pure. So, of course, pure devotional service is also very rare. But if you do pure devotional service, then we will feel happy. That's not like, it's not, that's why it's a science. It's not like doubt that.
So we can say that, sometimes we say that we do our devotional service for the satisfaction of the Lord. The pure devotees does like that, right? So how we can say that Lord has satisfied or not? It depends how much you are peaceful. So if you are peaceful and you are feeling happy and within, and then we can say that Lord is satisfied by this devotional service, isn't that?
Yes, that is one way to. And then if you're not peaceful, then also there is an indication from the Lord,
Right.
that there also Lord is kind of guiding you on what you are not doing correctly. So you're not peaceful. Right. So that is also like mercy. Krishna is also correcting us. So, and there is also not peace because others have not gotten bhakti. So how others?
Yeah, and also
Go ahead.
indication is detachment from material desires. Yeah, bhakti parishanubhava virakti. Like when you eat and you feel, when you have eaten nice meal and you feel the pleasure, you feel being nourished, and also your hunger goes away. So you should become more detached from material enjoyment.
Yeah, and Prabhupada says especially this sex desire is the more you're free from this, the more you can say you're advanced in spiritual life. He writes that many times. The test is how much you have become free from lusty desires. To that extent, you have made advancement. Okay, and it may be discouraging in the beginning, but that means I'm conditioned also. Uh, I have to keep doing. I have to improve the quality of my bhakti. I'm chanting, but I have to also improve my quality, and I have to do more. Like that. So, not to
And lust is gross and subtle. The
Correct.
desiring name, fame, prestige, appreciation from others is also lust.
Lust, yes. Lust for power, lust for so many things. There is also the tendency to control others, to lord it over others because you want to control others. So that's also falls in the category of lust for power. So
And Prabhuji, how about food habits, Prabhu? Could that be an indication?
yeah, food habits also. Yeah, it's like you control your senses, then your tongue is also controlled. Yeah, food habits. You don't overeat. All these things.
You only eat prasad.
Prasad. You only eat prasad, and that also in moderation, not for sense gratification. So, like that, so many different things are there. But it may become discouraging. But anyway, so it's already 9 o'clock. But we have to keep working at it. So, okay. So thank you very much for your association this morning, and we'll see you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.